Hey all, as you probably already know, the GT Goku event, the Legendary Goku event is really friggin' good for the sole reason that if you get super duper lucky, you can pull things like LR Ultra Instinct Goku, the STR one obviously, the LR Super Saiyan God Goku is still really good, and the Super Saiyan Spirit Bomb Absorbed Goku who's also still really good. And the missions, other than just beating the event, for some reason they didn't beat the event a certain amount of times. The only missions are the category missions. I don't have any of those leaders now except Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, because I coined him from the Goten and Trunks banner, so I'm not exactly the luckiest person in the world. Most of the time, and the reason why I said most of the time is that with this very team right here, I got this geezer from the banner. So, just in case I can help any of you do that, in case you haven't been lucky enough to pull that VEGITO, Buhan at all, over the next couple of days I'm going to be showing you just how I beat the Legendary Goku event GT edition with this team and another team with that's power absorption without exchange boo. Bit of a disclaimer, this team is not going to get it done. Like in this run, it will if you've got the right items, because the items I used the first time is the Android 8 and the Princess Snake, but right now I've only got the WITS and the Princess Snake because I'm pretty much pumping my story keys into grinding the AGL cooler whenever his EZA comes back. But yeah, let's just hop into it. The hardest phase to get through will most likely be the Golden Uzari. Another very slightly hard thing would be getting the rotation set up, but this time we've actually been quite lucky with it. Now, I'm going to throw Trunks up the front because you want him to link with Tech VEGITO Blue. You want Trunks to be in the front and Tech VEGITO Blue to be in the middle, so that when this guy's floating you can link them together. They share like 6 out of 7. The Android 17 is also quite good for when you have taken quite a lot of damage, because his damage reduction activates, and his damage reduction makes him a very usable character even in today's day and age. I reckon he's doing for an EZA quite soon, because I think he came out in a similar time frame to the Ultra Instinct Goku. Into Ultra Instinct Goku, obviously, the one that EZA during the 6th anniversary. Yeah, I didn't actually look at what happened, but I'm assuming that we got a super attack somewhere. Right, I think we can get the 18 key with Krillin, because Krillin is going to be an absolutely vital part for completing this. You can't get the 18 key in the first slot, but you can in the second, I think. Yeah, because those drop down and then you can get him 16 key. He's going to be absolutely vital. You want to get him his 18 key every single time you can. I'm just hoping that they don't additional super or just straight up knock him out, because Krillin's defense can go really, really high. Shite. Yeah, he's gone, unfortunately. Well, they could like survive on 1-8. Nah, they created like the worst possible time. Just my luck. I might have to go through it twice then, honestly. Although that might make for a longer video. Now that Trunks is transformed, he's going to be stacking attack and defense. It's good that the Tech VEGITO Blue didn't actually take any hits just then. We don't have to worry about Key too much next turn, because we know that Android 17 is going to be on that rotation. We're going to take quite a bit of damage here. Yeah, 158k, because he hasn't stacked at all. You can get screwed over early on by taking too much damage. But then once these characters have like stacked up and everything like that, they'll be able to take hits from the likes of full power Super Saiyan 4. and they'll be able to dish out a ton of damage as well. The first time I beat this, LR Super Vegito, the STR one, absolutely failed me, and it was physical Vegito Blue that pulled it back, because STR Super Vegito wasn't crit countering at all. Right, just in the hopes that he didn't super attack right at the front, I'm going to throw Krillin up the front and then put these in the back. And then, you can have these fall down. Okay, and you see that he's taking double digits already from the physical Goku phase, even before a super attack, and for a free-to-play unit, I think that's quite decent. We're going to see how he tanks a super though, probably not that well. Actually, that was better tanking than the Trunks, the Tech Trunks. But we are taking a ton of damage right at the start, so that's probably going to be what kills us. So now we've got the Tech Vegito Blue transforming. He's going to want to build up as quick as possible, or as efficiently as possible. That's probably the worst thing we could have started off with. Yeah, definitely not a good start. He didn't necessarily need to super attack to stack, but he needs to super attack to get his extra defense. If he'd super attacked him right up at the first slot, then we would have been just done. He does have a guaranteed additional super, so he does get a little bit of defense stacking. It's actually possible that we die right here, and that'd make me look really bad. But this team is possible. I've done it, and like I said, I've got the STR UI Goku from it. On my winning run, I just got good RNG at the start, and I didn't have to use any of my items before. Yeah, we're dead. We just got really, really unlucky with the super attacks. There's nothing you can do in this. It's just this event is what it is, and on a unit that it isn't godly in stacking defense, if you get super attacked in the wrong place, you are done. And even on... Oh, I went in with the wrong team. Oh, sneak peek at the team that I beat Power Absorption with. I'm going to go in like 2 or 3 more times, just to show you pretty much... Well, I'm hopefully going to get a bit further than that. I hope I can get past the Golden Grey Ape phase as well, because like you can see it, we have a lot of physical units, so you have to be kind of careful around the Golden Grey Ape phase. Yeah, we want to rotate off the Super Vegito there, and we can get Krillin's Ultra Super next turn, as long as we don't like KO him this turn. I think 17 can lower the first phase's attack and defense, and then after the first turn he can lower the defense up until... I can't remember if it's Super Saiyan 3 or if it's Golden Grey Ape. As long as the physical Vegito Blue is hitting double supers, and even triple in that case, as long as he's hitting double, triple, quadruple supers each turn, you're going to be right as rain. But if he's not, then he's going to leave you in a very vulnerable position, like what nearly happened to me on my winning run. I've noticed that the STR Super Vegito is very adept at getting additionals. Oh, okay, it's built into his passive. Never mind. I didn't actually know it was built into his passive. I knew that Buhan had additionals built into his passive. I just didn't know that that was also... Okay, I'm hoping that we don't get additional super tier, or super tier I should say. Because there is no additional super, it's just one super attack. I think that's ruined the whole run for us. Because he's going to take a ton here. You're like 192k. And then he takes 38k from normals. Just the bad super... Like I said before, it's all about the super attack placement. And if he catches you with the bad super, your run is over. Even with just regular teams, it requires a lot of luck. If you're just running this team with, say him replaced with the STR VEGITO Blue, which good option, very good option, I just don't have him built up yet, and him with STR Super VEGITO if you have him, say you're doing that, it will still require a giant amount of luck. Okay, so that way we will get the Ultra Super with the Krillin. Yeah, it's difficult, and it is. I would say it's one of the most difficult. Well, no, it isn't even. I would say it is the one of the most difficult stages in Dokkan. I would say it's the most difficult on global right now. The God of Destruction event's probably harder because you're left with a few less options, but when it comes to global, I would say that this is definitely harder than like 99% of stages of Extreme Super Battle Road. Which, speaking of Extreme Super Battle Road, if Tapion happens to come before the 6-year anniversary, then I will probably be able to do one more of the Extreme Super Battle Road stages. This is a pretty good rotation to get, because you have Krillin being able to slightly tank at the start, and then you have the 2 Goku and Vegetas linking up very well. And they actually link up with 4 links. But when they transform into Super VEGITO, they share all 7 links. And actually, that's something that I forgot to mention. In the earlier phases, the taking a ton of damage isn't incredibly detrimental, because taking a ton of damage means that the Int Super VEGITO can transform, which lets you counter for quite a lot of damage. I'll show you how many dupes my characters have after I'm done with this. I believe 17 is on the next rotation, but we wouldn't have actually needed him in this case. Now, Trunks, I can't remember how much defense he has in this passive, but with him stacking like that, he won't be taking too much later into the event. Let's see how he tanks here, because he's got 1 stack. 74k, that was less than I expected, to be honest, because pretty much all of these phases hit fairly hard on their super attacks. So I'm pretty proud of how Trunks performed there. Take VEGITO Blue is also really good once he's got his 2 supers off. A lot of this does kind of rely on getting supers, especially the physical super VEGITO Blue, which he's getting his supers here, and also a couple of additional attacks which deal a semi-decent amount of damage. Yeah, then we can get them up to nearly 24 key, and then we can just get him to 12 key, and then these drop down. He'll also have his damage reduction active, so he won't be taking too much from the Goku. Krillin isn't even close to being meant to be a damage dealer, but his defense is really impressive when you get later on into the event. If they could crit, then that would be very appreciated. I think 17 was my first rainbowed unit. It might have been Jiren. Well, rainbowed summonable unit. So I'm not sure how. I can't remember how. Oh goodness, I can't remember how I built Jiren, but I know that I built 7. Oh jeez. Oh, there's the heal. Nice. But I built 17 as a kind of mixed in the hidden potential. So I think he has like some crit, some additional, and then some oh, why is my brain going blank today? Some dodge. There we go. We're going to knock him out this turn, which is good because we need really good key orbs for Krillin to consistently hit his 18 key. It's a shame that Trunks knocked out there because Vegito could have gotten one more stack on his passive, but it's alright. I'd call that a fairly good key setup, because when we drop those down, he's going to be getting a ton of this key, and that pushes him up to an 18 key, and that means that Vegito can sweep in and get those. We're getting quite close to our first Dokkan attack. I think I wouldn't hold off on it, because that might stop the Trunks or the Vegito from getting their super attacks, which is something that we, above all else, do not want. Now, Vegito Blue isn't linking at all with the Krillin, so you're normally going to be wanting to have Krillin in the first slot, but just because the enemy here is STR, I thought it was more reasonable to put him in the second slot. I think the enemy is physical, sorry, I think I said STR, so it's more reasonable to put the STR Super Vegito in the front slot. Let's have a bit of a defense check. Yeah, I don't even know why I checked, because Trunks is undeniably higher in defense. Can we stall here? Don't think we can. No, that's a bit of a shame.
Time to get serious.
It's alright. Because I've got the phone laid on the desk rather than holding it in my hand, because I want the cord to work correctly. I may not hit like all of the nodes for the Dokkan attack. Yeah, that was only a 1 point. Why did that suddenly leave my mind? It's like 1.5 mil. I think I've been going for like 18 minutes on this so far. Oh, here's a super attack. This might be what ends it. Yeah, 22 mil. I'm not sure if he's fully built up yet, but he will be taking damage like that even later on in the event. Also, what I did in my winning run is with this Vegito right here, I'd constantly like get him transformed, then wait to see where the super attack would land, and then once I saw where it was, I would reset the game. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to hit Krillin's super attack. Or ultra super attack. No, we're not. Shoot. He's only going to be stacking attack this turn then, and that's probably ended the run for us, to be honest. Because he just has not very good of anything. What am I talking about? I'm tired, I'm sorry. Why am I saying he doesn't have very good of anything? He didn't like have insane defense right off the bat, but when he's like getting his stacks every turn, it ends up going up to the point where he can take double digits from Golden Great Ape on normals. As far as the 3-year LRs go, I reckon they could actually get an easy A when Tanabata comes around, because that will mean that we've gotten the kind of revamps for the Int Super Vegito and the physical Super Gogeta. So once we've got those, I reckon that we could honestly be due in for an easy A for those 2 units. And there's a super attack. We might have to use a Princess Snake like straight away. Although Trunks, even with his defense lowered, is taking double digits now. So now that he's properly like built up, that's gonna really benefit us in the long run, pretty much. Vegito's hitting 3.6 mil, and that's with full links active, so he's nowhere near fully built up. And that's fortunate that he gets another super attack, or attack in general, because that means that it's further and further building up his passive. Like, I'm almost certain that he isn't fully built up yet. Oh boy, this is where things could get ugly. I believe 17 damage reduction procs when you're going into the turn. So I'm going to use Princess Snake and then check our defense. Yeah, 212k is what you can expect to see from someone like AGL Gohan early into an event. So it's not the worst thing in the world by any means. And in long events, I would say that outside of EZA LRs, obviously, Krillin is the best in longer events. I tried taking the Cell into the Power Absorption team and it just did not. Or Moment of Truth, let's see how much he takes. Oh boy, Krillin. That is impressive in my opinion, considering its type disadvantage. Now, this turn has been 2 physical types as well. Next turn with Krillin rather, will also be 2 physical types, because Vegito Blue will be on rotation. But I really want to get past the Golden Great Ape phase with this team, because it is possible, more than possible even, to do the event with this team, and I just want to show that. I want to like catch that on screen. So we are going to get Krillin's Ultra Super next turn. We can get the Int Super Vegito full key. Let's see how much damage they do this turn. That's nearly 600k. Yeah, Tech Vegito Blue's at 3.9k, not even full key. So he definitely wasn't fully built up the last time we saw him. And that's a 2.9 on a normal super. Like, the Blue Fusions, they're definitely fairly good. Like, pretty damn good in the longer events. Like, they're not the best to take into something like the God event. They would get slapped up, and that's probably killed us. Yeah, that's the end of that. Like I said, if they decide to hit you in a place that it's not beneficial to your health, then you have no chance. You really just don't have a chance against him if he decides to super attack a unit with really low defense. And I went in with the wrong team again. I'm going to go in one more time and try to take down the Grey Ape. But if I can't, then just kind of know that it is 100% possible to do it with this team. It just takes a lot of time and a lot of dedication. Other units that you could probably replace on this team, you could replace the Android 17 with the Candy Vegito, because he does stack attack and defense. So you might want to replace him on a main rotation with one. Actually, you might want to replace the STR Super Vegito on the main rotation. And that's simply because... Does he get... No. I'm trying to calculate where he would... Oh, there we go. And that's a 18 key for him. You might want to take the... Okay, I'm going to quickly look up the links. I want to see how well the Candy Vegito links with the physical Krillin. Looks like they don't link up at all. But notably, the STR Vegito Blue does share 2 links with him, which is probably Legendary Power and something else that I don't know. But any links to help is probably appreciated when it comes to that unit. I think it's beneficial to get these key spheres with the Krillin, so that we can get the Tech Vegito Blue a lot next turn, if he survives until next turn. Actually, I need to check this physical, TN, to check what categories he's on. The physical TN from the Majin Buu saga. Which I'm having trouble finding him for some reason. There we go. This link partner finder is really crap, because whenever you even do remotely anything, he just... Okay, so that Tien is not on... Actually, I don't even think that Tien would be like the greatest for this event, because he didn't stack at all. But he's not on Battle Wit, so that wouldn't have mattered anyway. He did survive until this turn, so we'll be able to get one more attack stack. If you can get early on attack stacks with the Blue Fusion, you'll see like really good attack numbers from them. So Krillin's a decent defensive number already. I think we'll do this. I think we'll get him as much key as possible. And at that point, yeah, I think that's fine. Because he's taking double digits from normals, and he didn't get supered first, like in the first 3 attacks, which is good, because now we can get one more defensive stack off. I would say we're already making quite a lot more progress than before in the early phases, and that is going to be what wins you the event. And here are the 2 transformations. I mean, they're not the only 2, obviously, but they're the 2 that you're going to see the earliest. And when they're in their transform states, that's like really good, because oh goodness, that's a key struggle. I think we can get away with skipping out on the super attack for Vegito Blue. Oh god, what are we going to do here? We might not even get the super attack for Krillin. We're not going to. The key aligned itself like in the perfect way to stop us this turn. And here's the super attack right on the person that we didn't want it on, so So only 63 ain't the worst though, I suppose. Especially since that might even push us over to a transformation next turn. So we're on a 120 leader skill for most units here, but we're still at like over 500,000 HP and a similar like impressive amount of damage and defense. So this team is definitely not the worst. Some of them are getting more of Trunks' leader skill, like obviously Trunks himself, then the 2 Vegito Blues. Yeah, that did push him over to a fusion. And then when the next turn starts, we're going to have both key support and an extra... how do I do this? Because that's not going to drop those physicals down. Not going to drop both of them at least. That's a shame. Like, as I said, you want to be getting it every turn, and sometimes the key just screws you out of it. But on my winning run, and on quite a few runs after, like, and that here he's getting an attack stack, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But there are a lot of things that need to align perfectly, pretty much, for you to succeed here. And those things are pretty much essential for your victory. I think we can realistically get a super attack next turn. Okay, so that was 78k, that's not the worst. Just remember that because I've got these items, I probably won't even beat the full power Super Saiyan 4 in perfect circumstances. Because on my winning run, if I remember correctly, I had an Android 8 and a Princess Snake. Right. Have these aligned well? Because that's 6 key there. I was thinking when these fall. Yes! That's exactly what I wanted. Now we're just going to have to pray that Vegito gets 1 additional super, at least. Probably wasn't the best decision to put the Super Vegito up in the front because we could have gone super attacked. But now if he is going to super attack, then the more defensively capable unit is going to be taking it. Nah. So we could be screwed. Depending on how, if he... Yeah, Vegito isn't going to be able to launch an additional super. Oh, no. There's his hidden potential kicking in. If you get anything other than... Oh, God. If you get anything other than your 12 key super or your 18 key super in a turn, then your chance to get an additional super will go exponentially up. And if by some miracle he survives, then we can get an Ultra Super for Krillin next turn. Oh yikes, that is a tiny amount of HP. But it's good because now the Vegito blows up at 3.9, but he also gets another attack stack from his passive. Okay, this is really good for Krillin actually, and really good for Super Vegito as well, because now the Super Vegito can be all the way up there. Can we get Can we manage to get Dokkan mode from this? Yes, 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 that's exactly what I wanted, because this is going to net us a ton of HP back, unless he decides to super attack the Android 17. Or the Krillin will probably kill us, to be honest. But if he super attacks the Super Vegito, which has a very high chance to, I think, will be right as rain. Yeah, and he managed to get the crit on top of that. Just in general, this Super Vegeta unit is really good, and if you pull him during the anniversary, you should feel like you're running away with a massive W under your belt. We might even be done here because of the poor super attack placement. As long as he doesn't super attack the Android 17, because we have damage reduction, but we only have 60% defense. Oh, I thought we were going to super attack then. We're lowering his defense quite a lot for next round too, though. Yes! That's a ton of HP healed back. And now Vegito's ki is just going insane. We should honestly get him knocked out this turn, I would say. If we somehow don't, if he manages to dodge one of our attacks, then we might have a difficult time getting Krillin his super attack next turn. Yeah, we'd love to see those additional supers from Trunks. That's another... Is he fully built up then? He might be fully built up now. And he gets an additional super here, so I think we will knock him out this turn unless he dodges. Yeah, I think he's dead. Yeah. So now we're on to Golden Grey Ape, and I'm hoping that I can kind of blaze through this for you. Yep, Krillin gets his super attack straight off the bat. How well does he link with the Int Super Vegito? Same. Actually, what's his defense at? Yeah, that's probably not high enough to survive. I think I'll use a Princess Snake. I think I did use 2 items here on the winning run, but no items during the Super Saiyan 4 phase. As in, like, the Int Super Saiyan 4, not full power Super Saiyan 4. My back's starting to hurt from sitting in my chair so much. Oh boy. Yeah, they don't do much damage at all, apparently. Yeah, 121k still with the item active. This Golden Grey Ape does not play around. We did manage to get the additional super though, which is pretty cool. What I also like about the Int Super Vegito is that even if he dodges, it counts as a counter. If he super attacks even at all this turn, then we're dead. I'm going to pop a Whis just to be safe. And then that Whis will carry over to the next turn as well. And I believe that next turn should have the physical Vegito Blue on it. See how much he does here, because that's 24 ki. Strange. 3.8 mil. So yeah, I'd wager that he is fully built up by this point. Because he hasn't got his best linking partner, obviously, but he's still dealing pretty good damage. Oh wow. We probably wouldn't have died if we didn't use that Whis. But it's probably for the best anyway. Because now... Well, that didn't really do anything for us anyway. I wonder how much damage Krillin will take with the Whis active, because he's type at disadvantage, obviously. Oh, well, we'll be able to see. 236k still. The Golden Grey 8 phase is nothing to mess around with. And for some reason he's taking far less damage than he normally does. I think it's because we're not critting, to be honest. Then we can do that. Oh, but do we want to? No, we don't. We do not want to do that. Is there a choice though? I wouldn't say so. Well, we've screwed ourselves. Because Krillin can't get his 18 ki now. At least there isn't any conceivable way for me to see. There we go, 5.2 mil. That's what we like to see from VEGITO Blue. If he super attacks here, then we're dead, and there's no way around that. But he didn't, so we can counter this. We might be dead anyway, because there isn't any way to get around this other than using another super attack. If we're lucky, the way those two will fall, those two red and green up at the top, will benefit us by making sure we can get 3 ki. If we're unlucky, then that's the norm. Poggers. I will take what I'm given. I didn't feel like there was any other way to get through that other than using another item. Especially because if Krillin or even 17 get super attacked, we're screwed. Or at least we would be, and even now we're going to take a good 23k higher than that for 17. Okay, yeah, he isn't even taking double damage with an item active. Right. Now, he's like got his nigh on best linking partner here. Let's check defense. He's almost at 290k. He's got 6 out of 7 links. So he's got 4. Although that will go up, I think. Yeah, that will include Power Bestowed by God and Kamehameha. And thanks to him not super attacking in the first slot, then we're going to be getting even more damage with Trunks. If they could both crit, then that would be very helpful for us. $5.5 mil, yeah. That is what we love to see. He may actually be dead this turn. Yeah, crit. Nice one, VEGITO. And yeah, putting Krillin up in the first slot here, absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. Other than him not being able to get his Ultra Super, but this is an Int type enemy, so we don't have to worry too much. I believe they get damage reduction, do they? Yep, just flat damage reduction and 120% defense. That is like, it's such a simple passive, but it's so good. Next turn will be a bit troublesome though, because we'll be in for a kind of... Oh yes, let's see how he tanks this one. 89k, not as good as I was hoping, but it's not the worst. We did get past the Golden Grey Ape though. When we get to the final phase, that Int Super Vegito will do really well, actually linked up with the STR Super Vegito, I think. And that's 2 crit counters, you'll love to see it. We may want to make sure this turn that Krillin can get his super attack next turn, his ultra super attack, and that will, by the looks of things, be 100% possible. I think we just kind of hope that he doesn't super this turn, because if he does, then we're in for a bombardment of damage. And he dodged our, yeah. He dodged one of our most powerful attacks. But Vegito did get a crit to make up for it. And there's a super attack, I think we're done. Yep, 350k, and then I'm not sure if 17's damage reduction activated. If it did, then nah, we're done. And only by a small margin as well. We could have survived that. We could have survived and then transformed. That's a right shame. I'm going to flip a coin, see if we get back in, see if we make the video like an hour. If it's heads, I will. Nah. Just know that it is 100% possible with this team, because I did it and got UI Goku from it. But it will take a lot of time, a lot of patience, and maybe a bit of grinding to replace some of the less favourable units. Just overall, this is kind of something that you use if you've got a ton of free time on your hands and you want to try and challenge yourself. Tomorrow I'll be doing something on how to beat the power absorption mission without the physical Bootanks, just like this was Battle of Wits without the STR Super Vegito. I'm going to be trying to figure out a Space Travelling Warriors team for this as well. I think that might be a bit easier. Another team that you can make 100%, not from units that I have, but I'll be going over the theoretics behind it. A team that you can most definitely make if you don't have the Int Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, but you did go all in on the GT Heroes banners, and you have got both of them, or even just one of them, I think that will probably work, maybe, then you can 100% try with that. As it stands, just if you want to keep trying it, if you want to do it with this team and keep trying, then be my guest. I'll show you the builds now that I used to beat it. Yeah, I went for full additional on this guy. Then this man's free dupe. This guy is 90%, and I actually ended up building him with crits. This guy I believe is 90%, and he's built with crits. He is 100% and he's built with additionals, and he is 100%, and I went a bit crazy with that. I think the Super VEGITO I used to beat it was 69%, but you can also use any that's above that. It will be incredibly difficult with a 55% one, I think. But yeah, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you tomorrow for the power absorption run.